right, guys, check this out. The case study of the euro versus the New Zealand dollar. Fascinating situation. I'm really excited about this one. Just talking about it. We're going to start from the big picture. Basically, we're going to focus on the big picture. We're going to focus on the long-term perspective for this one. And we think we might be looking at, you can clearly see, right? Price came from March 2020. That was the moment, right? That was the height of the pandemic. That was pretty much the black swan I was just mentioning in the previous analysis that we just had. Same time. If you go over pretty much everywhere, you'll see the same time, right? I believe that was the 9th of March. Huge movement in the market. That was that black swan that that took the market pretty much off the charts. But at the end of the day, that was just a tipping point, right? A big one, but still a tipping point, which means price just shifted direction from an upside move into a downside trend. Ever since then, we're talking about 4 months, price was on the downside. Just imagine that it came from 2, right? A huge move. If you calculate all this huge spike, which we definitely should. So price came from 2, big move on the way down, overshooting on the way down, by the way, on the downside slightly from the daily perspective. Let's take a look at the weekly. Also a little bit from the weekly perspective, right? We have this violation on the way down. We believe that's just just the reaction to this explosion during the height of the pandemic on March. So it doesn't surprise us to see this type of violation. Let's try to filter this one out as well by moving to the highest scale possible, the monthly chart. Check this out. This is really interesting stuff. So when you filter out all the noise from the monthly perspective, 73.88, it's the same level, right? The bottom support on this particular kilovolt system, and the reaction is just stunning. I'm talking about last month. Really beautiful bounce back where price was at the lowest low, 71.82. That's 200 pips, solid 200 pip, which it bounced back up just to close inside. And guess what it does this month, right? It just replicates the same movement, but this time it's even a little bit deeper, right? Just to cover stop loss levels that were probably placed here when price was beginning to shoot upwards. So now it cleaned it out, and now it's bouncing back up. It's just incredible to see this. Now let's talk about the implications, because we're talking long term here, right? So we think obviously price should go, the first thing that comes to mind is a huge upside reversal and rough, months and months of upside push that could take us pretty much back to 88 and 88.04. That's the primary target, final destination, but even beyond that point. So a huge move. We're talking about 1500 pip of potential movement here, right? We should probably mention 80.56 as kind of a middle way type of target. It's a big resistance area. That's the mid-low key level. So yeah, if we're gonna approach this one with an active position, we're gonna have to break this move into 2, right? From this point to 80.56, then take a bit of a break, and later on possibly going back to the rest of the way from 80.56 to 88.04. All right, that's pretty much the game plan. We'll see how it goes. We'll definitely be back to follow up on the situation here. Forex market, it's been a pleasure. Have a nice day today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.